start, and then Liviu will continue the presentation. We are trying to have a sort of debate, in fact, about open science, because there are very good things and sometimes some concerns about using open science and different sort of application, different sort of things that are done in connection with that. So I will start with this, which is quite a known slide. It was part of it. It was already presented today by Muki, which regards the recommendation of UNESCO regarding open science, which gives the possibility to open everything towards the public and to use knowledge which is already produced in order to reuse it and to find some new knowledge based on that and so on. If we speak about open science, if you try to give a sort of definition, it is considered a practice where some people can collaborate, can contribute to work together, where research data, research notes, and some other processes are shared and made freely available to the public and toward the other members of the research community, so that they can reuse that. Some more details are in the figure, but you will be able to share and to see the presentation. If you speak about taxonomy, I just inserted this slide just to know that it is about a lot of things which are together. We don't have the time to go through all of them, but I will encourage you to read it and to see what it is about. If you want to share knowledge and to share research results, then we need to the licenses which are used to protect that, because open access doesn't mean that you are losing the paternity of the results of your research and so on, but they need to be just given to somebody which allows you to reuse or only to share the results and so on. So going that, it is already a policy of the European Commission, which has been transformed into an initiative which is called European Open Science Cloud, which is a storing place for, in fact, all the research projects which are funded by the European Union, which are supposed to have the results stored there and made available for everybody. Why? Because the research have been funded by public money. And if they are funded by public money, so from everyone's money, the ones which are paying at the latest moment should have access to the results. There are several ambitions of the European Commission regarding that, and I will just briefly say something about the FAIR principles, because all the data which are produced during the research process should be findable, so everybody can find them easily with a simple tool for searching. They should be accessible to all the researchers, so it should not be encrypted or should not be on a PDF format which cannot be downloaded and used by somebody else. They should be interoperable, so anybody should use them. They should not be in a format which doesn't allow some others to use the same set of data, and they should be reusable, which means that you need to give the permission for any researcher to reuse the data in order to do his own research. There are also some other things going up to the citizen science, which we are mainly speaking today. But I would like to show you very briefly that it is not something very complicated. In fact, I think in any of our universities we can find some examples of open science. And I'm just briefly giving some examples from our own university. The library of the university has an implemented system of storage information, digital storage, which is called digital library, where you can find a lot of information in this digital space. And you can search regarding one people, regarding somebody, and you can get information about its articles. You can get information about some diploma theses. You can find information about doctoral theses. So they are all available for free. What is the big importance on that? Because only if you are making everything freely available to everybody, we can stop with the discussions about tricking, about plagiarism, and about things like that, because usually the problems are hiding there where nobody wants to share the information. While the information is shared, then you can be trustful that it is done. And usually I'm giving here a very brief example, but quite a powerful one. We all have very much concerns about the doctoral titles and the doctoral awards and so on, if the diploma is correct or it is fake. I would like to say that, for instance, in UK, you receive just a sheet of paper, sometimes without no signature, with no stamp, nothing on it. But it is not the way you are trying to find the thesis. The thesis is in the British Library. If the thesis is there, it has been going through a certain process, and you can trust that it is a correct one. So this is the most important side, from my view, on open science in many ways. On the other hand, you can do a lot of other searches regarding publications, results, and so on. Even if you want to see something from the biography of somebody. I was just putting here an insert if I'm looking for myself there, because I don't want to give examples for somebody else. It doesn't mean that I was giving that information to the library. No, it has been collected from any sort of public sectors, from public information which are available online, and sometimes maybe there are also mistakes there, which I might disagree, and I should contact maybe the IT department to check it. But usually they are correct. But you can do that. On the other hand, you can find a certain topic, and you can find publication on that. You can also use for somebody's publications in a certain area, so you restrict the queries. Also, you can have many open online journals and publications which are available, and this is just an example of one of the scientific bulletins of the university which are available online through the portal of the library. It is now the transactions on modern languages, because I didn't want it to go only to technical examples. But there are also quite high-ranked journals which are also classified in Scopus or things like that. For instance, the Journal of Electrical Engineering, which is a fully online publication. You can get your article printed only if you are specifically asked it. Otherwise, it is just online. And all the procedures are done online. So we should say that everybody agrees with that. It was not exactly like that. But the big step was done during the pandemic. During the pandemic, when everybody was afraid about what will happen and so on, many researchers were putting their resources for free for the others. And it is specifically in the medical field, in health, and this is how, sharing all the research results, the vaccines were able to be done in such a short time, in fact. But this also has a reverse, because if some publishers were made freely available their publications during that time, immediately after that wanted to get back to the payment system, and there were coming then different let's say, arguments and discussions between universities which didn't want to pay so much. So there are a lot of universities, especially in the north of Europe, which were not doing the subscriptions any longer. So I will talk about a couple of advantages, and then I will leave you maybe to give you the bad part of it and the concerns. Why open access? First of all, because it's free, because you can get an immediate publication, you can search for research articles for free and you can access them online. They are available all the time and you have the right to reuse them. Of course that as researchers we are trying to publish as much as possible, because this is for the moment at least, the way the assessment of research and even of the academic part of our life is done. So we need to publish. The traditional mode of publishing means that the research funding is always available because somebody need to give money for a certain research. But after that, for the part of the publication in the scope of dissemination, could be done for free or for money. Normally in the traditional system, the universities and the non-academic partners which want to read some articles should pay. And normally they should pay quite a lot. On the other hand, with the introduction of the open access system, there is a so-called system gold open access. Gold open access means that the researcher has to pay something in order to have the article published quickly, almost in real time, but nobody else should pay. The university, the other persons can access it for free. This is the so-called gold model, but there is also a green one where not even the researcher need to pay, but you need to find a storage repository where which can host your publication, and many of the journals are now going toward the hybrid way, so they use both online and traditional publication and so on. And this is a short map which shows which are the ways you can go in order to publish. You can go on the way of gold open access, on green open access, or on a hybrid one. So I think the main result of that is firstly that knowledge and publications, research results and so on are going quick and towards a large number of researchers, of interested people, which don't have to pay. And secondly, it is the visibility, because if we are looking to the rankings of some of our researchers, we have seen that during the pandemic, some of them were increasing quite a lot the number of their citations and so on, simply because their works were published online. So this is, from my point of view, the main advantage. And now I will leave Liviu to give you some.
Okay, good afternoon everybody. So from the beginning I should state that I am for open science, for open access, but I think regarding some editors on open access journals, there are some abuses, and this could be very dangerous in future for all of us. So I will skip the pros for open access. Radu already presented. What I would like to say that many new journals, which are set as open access journals, they take time to acquire impact metrics, and currently, at least in Romania, but probably in many countries in Europe now, the impact factor is a criteria to evaluate the scientists nowadays. Probably this will change in future. Also, not all open access journals are covered by agreements between universities and publishers, and some of them, they have a very high article process charge. And this is for the good journals. I will show you that this problem will be probably taken out in future. There are many predatory journals nowadays, which is, on my opinion, dangerous to go to publish on this. Some of them are using artificial increase of impact factors with citations by themselves or by the journals which are in the same, by the same publisher. What I can say about open access, so I have some statistics here. So I don't know, probably you can see. So Elsevier increased the number of publications from 300,000 and something to 600,000. So in 10 years, from 2011 to 2021, Elsevier and Springer increases 2, respectively 1.6 times. So the MDPI editor so increases 51 times. So from some thousands of publications, 4,000 to 200,000. So I think this is an artificial increase. And if we look on the open access share in engineering, chemistry, physics, so you can see here that MDPI has around 50% of open access share. This makes the other companies angry, and they start to have journals, open access journals, and the article processor charge for these journals are even higher than from MDPI. So another issue is with the publication time. So the classical subscription-based publishers, let's say 60% of the papers are published between the time where the paper is submitted to the publishing around 4 to 6 months. So why in MDPI, which is an open access platform, almost 98% are published in the first 3 months. This is not bad. So for young colleagues which are keen to have early publication, probably this is good. The problem is how they manage to have a quality control of the reviewing process. Also, this number you can see here, the number of publications in MDPI platform, it's increasing huge. And most of the increase is based on special issues where they have this politics to invite, let's say, recognized scientists to open a special issue, and they come to invite their colleagues being known in the community to have these publications. You can see here the increase of the special issue. So in 2013, we have around 400, less than 400. Now it are almost 40,000 special issues, which is very, very high number. Also, they use a huge number of editorial board members. I don't know how they meet. They are hundreds, thousands of people in the editorial board. I don't know how they can stay together and look on the politics of these journals. This is a journal which increased from 128 papers to 70,000 papers in 2022 from 2011. So it's a huge increase. So what I'm saying that this became a business. But not only Europe was fascinated to have quick publication. So if we look on this map of from Web of Science, now we can see that China is the country with the most papers, then followed by USA, and then some European countries. So apparently all countries and researchers from all countries follow this, let's say, route. If we look on the Central Europe, so Romania has the most percentage of the share of the articles in MDPI, also Poland, Lithuania, Slovakia, almost all the East European countries. If we look in Romania, in 2022, we have 5,500 publications in MDPI in 1 year, This is 42% of the total production of the papers. So if we multiply this with 2,000 euro, which is the article process charge, so this is 11 million euros. I think this money shouldn't be paid to the editors, should go to the researchers to improve their skills, to have materials to do research. But every country supports this. In our university, I have a statistics for the journals from the first 2 quartiles, so 50% of the publications. So 2021, 2022, 2023, almost 62% of the scientific production of our university goes to these MDPI journals. Why? Because we support the article process charge, so the university pay this. A part of the colleagues which have a project or grants to can do this. Another, I think, bad issue here is the multiple corresponding authors. So in normal journals, in subscription-based journals, which are not anymore subscription-based, but anyway, the editor talk with one corresponding author. So these journals accept multiple corresponding authors, and this is because in some countries, for promotion, you should be the first author or corresponding author. And I think this is not a very good practice. Due to this, in many countries, the policies start to change against this. And for example, in Zhejiang University in China, they are banned all the journals from MDPI, Hindavi, and Frontiers. Also in China, MDPI, it's a Chinese company. They have a post office in Switzerland, but they are a Chinese company. The Ministry of Social Science and Ministry of Science and Technology given an notice in which the evaluation of the research doesn't take into account the publications in Hindavi, MDPI, and Frontiers editors. Also in Norway and in some other countries. What you can see in Web of Science, there are banned some journals. You can see here the highest number of journals which are not anymore indexed because of lack of the quality assurance are from Hindavi, and Hindavi took over some Wiley journals. So they are the first. MDPI is not so bad. It's probably the same like Springer and other Sage publishers. There is a list, and before to go to publish, I told to my students, be sure that the journal where you want to publish is not, let's say, blacklisted by Jeffrey Beale, which was a librarian from UK and who did this list. So what are the causes for the open access? At the individual level, because the evaluation is fully on scientometric criteria, everybody wants to have more publications in short time. Also, some universities are covering, as I told you, our university are covering the article process charge, the participation in conferences. Even more in Romania, the authority for the for the financing of higher education research, they give some money for the people which are publishing in good journals, Q1 and Q2. On the other hand, at the institutional level, so we have to publish in the open access journals because of dissemination at national and European level. All the projects have requirements that you should publish open access because there are public money. Also in Romania, we are competing between our universities in financing of the university based on 30% of the financing comes from some scientometric criteria, which is a competition between universities. And it's good to have as much publications, it's possible. So, which will be possible consequences to stop rewarding researchers for publishing in such a journals? Probably in future, and Quora is one of the initiatives to replace the quantitative evaluation with a qualitative evaluation, and also restrictions, or if your reviewers can see that you publish only in not very good journals, so you have less chances to own a project. But what is the good thing, and I will finish with this. What is the good thing? So it was this concern for the subscription-based journals, that if you want to publish open access on this, you have the agreement and you pay the subscription to these journals. But if you want to make your paper open access, you need to pay more. So it was double payment, and from this year in Romania, I think some countries are on this, they are named transformative agreements. So if your journal is covered by a regular subscription, you can pay open access without paying the article process charge. So we are testing this year. You can see here some numbers. For Elsevier, we have 537 article process charge covered by this transformative agreement. 59 institutions from Romania are able to do this, and up to now, 14 November, when I did this presentation, only half of these were taken. So 203 papers, publications among 500 were published, and all the other. We have the same with Springer, with Wiley, but not all the universities, research institute are covered by this transformative agreements with all the editors. But this is a good thing, and now I think we need to go to publish on these journals if the article process charge is covered by the regular subscription. There is a list here. You can check. Almost all journals, or many of them, are covered by this transformative agreement. For example, in Elsevier, the new journals which are only open access, they are not covered, so you still need to pay the article process charge. But there are hundreds, thousands of journals now on these editors which are covered by the transformative agreements. Thank you very much. If you have some questions, please let me know, or send to Q&A. Thank you.